This episode of the Totally Rad Show is brought to you by GoDaddy. Coming up, we take a look at an independent downloadable game called Trauma.
Everybody, and welcome to the Totally Rad Show. Do not adjust your TV. This is currently my hair.
Wait, who are you?
Yes.
Get out of here.
My birthday was Sunday, the 14th.
Happy birthday. Look at you like usurping our attempt to wish you a happy birthday.
Because this is why I did it, was I was like, I've always wanted to shave my head. This is actually a week of growth, so my hair will be back and forth probably by next week.
Yeah. Actually, I think by Thursday, it'll probably
look exactly the same. But by next Monday's the beginning part, but not the end part. So I just was like, screw it. I've always wanted to shave my head. Why not? And did it.
Well, then let's say happy birthday right at the top.
Thank you very much.
Are we doing the whole thing right now?
Well, I thought the whole thing was...
No, because that'll be its own...
own day. So they have... So
Here, wait,
today...
let's do it. Let's just do this, and then you'll say, we'll tease. You go, look. Happy
Amazing.
birthday, Alex! Yay! And,
okay, put those away.
People will find out what this is later in the week.
Including me.
Yeah.
So today we're going to be talking about a little quirky title from like Finland or something, right? Or like Norway.
Yeah, it's on Steam. It's an independent
Yes,
game.
called Trauma. So we'll be talking about that today.
And then on Tuesday, we're talking about Lufa. We've heard it's
actually called Luther, but yes.
I think it's Lufa.
Yeah, Lufa.
It's a UK...
It's a Sponge TV show?
Yeah, don't be confused by Jeff. It's not a Spanish show. It's actually...
It's Idris Elba and solving crimes.
Yeah.
And then on Wednesday, we play... What is that?
What? The best game in the world. Thursday, we're back to see what is in those beautiful, beautiful blue boxes.
What's in the box?
What's in the
We're
box?
playing What's in the Box? Alex Albrecht edition.
And then Friday, you're going to see our review of Fright Night.
Yes.
Which brings us to this background, which I'm sure you guys have already noticed being
amazing
horrific
and awesome.
in an awesome way.
I look like the logo for the Vision Psycho Stick from back in the 80s.
Yeah, this was sent in by Brian Lowndes. Thank you, Brian.
Yeah,
this is
very cool.
awesome artwork, but I'm kind of frightened of us.
This may be my new avatar. I might be start cutting that out.
Oh, it's awesome.
Because it's really
That's
cool.
smart.
It's pretty
And
awesome.
I said it first, so you can't do it.
Yeah.
Let's get into the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are smack dab in the middle of the calm before the storm.
The storm of Star Wars Old Republic.
Well.
The storm of Modern Warfare 3.
Yes.
The storm of Battlefield 3. The storm of other third-generation games.
Mass Effect 3.
Mass
Well,
Effect
that's not
3.
until next year, but the holiday...
Come before.
The holiday gaming blitz is almost upon us, but this calm part gives us perfect opportunity to check in on some smaller, interesting, more daring, I would say, risky, I might even say independent games. And what did I do? I sent out a little... What are you doing over there, Mr. Man? You're playing a puppet game? If we shouldn't have set up the Kinect right in front of you. Really shouldn't have. I sent out something on my Twitter, at Jeff Cannata, if you want to follow, asking people for suggestions for great little independent games. And one of the ones that came back that we're going to be talking about today, very recent release, is called Trauma. It's from a game designer named Christian Majewski, which I hope I'm pronouncing correctly. Almost a solo project, and it has won a bunch of independent game awards. And it's been released on Steam and on his website. It's only $10. And it harkens back to a game type that I know Alex loves.
It's actually $6.99 on Steam.
Oh, $6.99.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. Pardon me.
I mean, it's like
$7.
easier to get in. You know?
Yeah, but it reminded me of a game called Myst that was huge in our youth, but don't kind of make those games anymore. Point-and-click adventure games. But this certainly does have a modern bent to it. The premise is that you take your persona of a woman who's been injured in a car crash, and she's in a coma or recovering from this trauma, and recounting certain moments of her life and kind of going through memories, and it's sort of memory and dream. And the website describes the game as designed for the literate, mature gamer, which I think is a really cool goal and one we don't see very often, which made me very excited to check it out. basically how you play is you click through there's 4 different sections, chapters in the game that are themed around different kinds of moments or experiences in the life. And you can move through these environments by clicking on different areas on the screen or by using gesture commands. That is reminiscent of a game like Black and White that used gesture commands, or even the stuff we're seeing now with the Wii and the Kinect and the Move. And you move around these environments and you collect these photographs and you unlock different things, and there's a constant voiceover of this woman telling you kind of moments and feelings, and it's very much an experiential game. Dan?
And it's all full motion video.
I was just going to say,
Right.
as an FOFMV, as I know you are, friend of full motion video.
I'm a fan of.
Yeah, yes. I was very excited to hear your opinion because this is full motion video, this is photography, these are things that you really enjoy.
Yeah. To clarify in the description, the point and click adventure aspects are all set in the real world with actual photography that you're clicking through.
Yeah.
Which we had a conversation about back in the day.
We did.
It's not exact. This isn't really that though.
Majewski kind of stole our idea. No, but there are computer manipulations of those things, and there is some very fantastical elements that happen, and you learn these different gestures that allow you to manipulate the environment in certain ways. And then the game is very much built around multiple playthroughs because there's different endings and alternate things and things you learn later that you have to go back and apply beforehand.
Yes.
What did you think?
Well, I am a fan. I've said many times in the show, I often comment on how much I love when there's a synchronicity between all facets of a game in terms of like the idea of the game and the gameplay mechanics themselves and what I'm feeling as a player at that moment all gel into and are very directed. So from Braid to
Limbo.
Red Dead Redemption.
Oh, there you go.
You know, like especially the end of Red Dead Redemption. You know, like I'm having an experience that because I'm playing it this way, I'm feeling a certain thing because the gameplay is a certain way, and because of what's happening in the game, it's all one awesome experience. And this game, especially because it's so short, it really is that exclamation point on that experience because it's such a short game, although multiple playthroughs, but to have one solid experience in one sitting, I really was put in the shoes of someone in a coma, drifting in and out of realities and things like that. You know, I really felt like I was feeling what the protagonist of the game was feeling. I really enjoyed solving the puzzles. They weren't super duper challenging, but the experience of solving them was very satisfying and as I said, had great synchronicity with the story that was being told. And I think even more so, I enjoyed solving the puzzles in this game more than an old point-and-click adventure like like an old Sierra game, because it was in reality. Those games, especially because of the graphics at the time, you know, you don't know, is that a pixel or is that an egg behind a tree?
The mouse or the egg?
Right. And this, because I'm seeing the real world, I'm like, I can really, you know, use my own know-how to figure things out. So I really enjoyed it. Wasn't the richest of experiences.
Would you like to see more games built like this? Would you like to see this game longer? Would you like to see other genres kind of use this method of communication?
Which one? You mean photographs?
Yeah, I mean the whole shebang, the whole experience of playing it.
Yeah,
Can you see it
I
applied
do
in
like
other
that.
ways?
Yeah, I definitely like that. I would have enjoyed it on an iPad.
I think it probably is likely to go there.
Yeah.
Alex, I know you loved Myst. One of your favorite games, always mentioned.
Oh, yeah.
This game doesn't really have the sort of mind-bendy puzzles of that.
No, not at all. Yeah.
It's kind of similar.
Yeah, kind of. This game is more of an experience than it is an actual game. The challenge is fairly low, but it's more of a discovery game. It's less of a sort of puzzle game. But the experience is very unique and very. I mean, it's worth $7. You know what I mean? I'm gonna disagree with Dan. I don't know if it was longer, I might get bored with this type of game because there wasn't really a challenge. It was more of like watching a good short film or reading a good, you know, one-off trade comic book. It was one of those things where it's like because it was this sort of concise and fulfilling small thing, I was able to get into a sort of but at the point where it was sort of ending was when I was like, oh right, this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if it had kept going, it would have to go into some very interesting, difficult places in order to keep my attention.
Right.
But it, it was enough. I mean, it was really an experience, and it was one of those things. I'm glad that people are making games like this, and it would be great if some of the bigger game design companies could look at something like this and go, here are things that push the envelope, and then apply some of those tools and some of those things that have pushed beyond what people would think of as far as UI. There's no UI. There's no. I mean, it's like you're looking at a picture, and because of how it reminds me of Bastion a little bit, where it's from what they say you learn how to do things. That was Bastion, right? That didn't. No. It was the other one, Shadow Darkly Planet or whatever it was called.
Oh, Insanely Twisted Shadow Planet.
Yeah, where it was like it didn't say. Press the X button and then you can lift up a rock, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's the same kind of thing here, where it doesn't really explain to you exactly how you work in the world. You just learn enough of that as you go to then retain it and be very flexible in it. So, I had a blast. It's worth $7.
I completely agree with you, and almost point by point. And I love the fact that this game exists, and I love the fact that it shows what games can be. They don't always have to be the same kind of experience, and this is an experience. It's more of a meditation. It's more of a, it's $7, yes, and it's probably something you'll play over the course of an afternoon, and you might not return to it. But it's certainly worth that experience because you'll spend a couple of hours, and I found myself going back and trying to get all of the pic photos and all of the different endings. And I wish there had been more of that. I wish it, sometimes the alternate ending can be really abrupt, which is a little unfortunate. But it's beautiful, and I think a lot of the credit goes to the visual design, and the way you move through the world is interesting, and the voiceover is really, really exquisite. Yeah, the voice actress that they use, or that he used, she kind of whispers in your ear, and it's very. You feel very intimate, which is appropriate because you're kind of in with her experience that she's talking about when she was a child and the things that she dreamed about, and that's the kind of thing you don't experience with video games very often. It's the kind of thing you'll see in a film or read in a novel or something, but those kinds of experiences in video games I think are too rare, and it's interesting to see how someone figured out a way to deliver that, and I loved it. There is some discovery, and there are moments where you figure out how to drain something, and then the whole world goes down the drain. It's like, wow, it feels like a dream.
Yeah.
It's really cool, and I applaud these games. I'm glad we had a moment to be able to kind of look at something a little more avant-garde.
Yeah.
And I think more people should pay attention to this game and games like it.
I want to piggyback on what you guys Alex was speaking to, the concision of the game, in that it really is, there's a mechanic in games that I hate that you love, which is backtracking, right? Which is the Zelda or Metroid thing, where there's an area that you can't get to, you have to play through level, and then, oh, wait, now I can go back and do this thing, right? And that's just like always such a chore for me. But because this game is so concise, I actually found it really enjoyable when I would play through, I would get to the end, the last level of this game, the last scenario, and there was something I learned in that I realized in my memory.
Oh, there was a thing back there.
Hey, I could have done that with this, and that's how I could do the.
Right.
Because the game was so tight, that was kind of a fun experience. Whereas that typically is a chore for me when I have to go. So all the way back there, I went through all those guys, and So cool.
Yeah, I think
it.
very much worth it. Yeah, super good. Trauma.
All right, everybody, be sure to stick around for this day in rad history. But first, we want to thank our sponsors, GoDaddy.com, one of the longest-running sponsors of all the Revision 3 sponsors. If you want people to see your videos,
I do.
the best way to do that is with a .tv domain name. Well, guess what? You can get .tv domain names right now at GoDaddy. If you're a video blogger, if you have a web series, whatever you want to drive traffic to video content, people understand .tv is I see with my eye bobbles and listen with my ear holies.
Yeah.
And also,
in fact, I think see with my eye bobbles, listen with my ear holies .tv is available.
maybe. I don't know. Something that clever. Probably taken. But you can head over to GoDaddy.com. But not only that, you can download the free GoDaddy iPhone and Android and BlackBerry app to pick up your domains, manage your domains all on the go, which is amazing, totally free. Head over to GoDaddy.com, use the coupon code TRS8 when you check out, and you'll get 10% off your order. But also, if you want to try some other codes, we have a bunch of them, head over to revision3.com/GoDaddy to see all the Revision 3 codes. But do use a TRS one, because then they know you watch our show.
Which really helps us out.
Totally. All right, people, that's it. We will see you tomorrow. Woo!
Don't miss tomorrow when we take a look at the TV series Luther.
Today is August 15th, and on this day in rad history, back in 1877, Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison's cousin Tommy Edison coins the word hello as a greeting instead of Alexander Graham Bell's ahoy hoy.
Which is what Mr. Burns still
said.
uses.
Now, very funny that
Ahoy,
joke
Crazy
works.
that hello
Wasn't in the vernacular.
It's weird that
was
didn't
it
catch
something
on.
that we would say not on the phone to each other?
Well, no, I have a
You
feeling.
probably said like "good day, sir," before that, or
Wasn't it funny the first time somebody was like, hello, and the guy was like,
What did you just say? I'm sorry, I've got the wrong number. Click. So that is at Hijalti that sent that in. Thank you.
Hjalti.
Whatever.